Welcome to Rest Road Primary Academy, and this is our first online transition meeting. We usually would be greeting you with a smiley face, actually face to face in our school hall, but as you can see times aren't normal and this is what we resorted to. We've never done this before, so we are a bit of a double act, so bear with us, but it's just to give you information, for you to see us and for you to get to know a little bit about what's going to happen as your child moves from nursery into reception and joins us next year. So I will do a bit of introduction first. We haven't got all the members of staff here, but obviously the two most important ones here. We've got myself, I'm Mrs Heneghan, Dawn Heneghan, and I'm one of the deputies, and I'm also the UFS lead for the school, but I also have one of the reception classes, and I'm in the Brumwell class.
So I'm Ruth Brumwell, and I'll be teaching the other reception class next to Mrs Heneghan. I've been teaching at West Road for I think 14 years, and this is my second year in reception, so I had a really lovely year this year, and I'm looking forward to next year as well. I've mostly taught in Key Stage 1, so I have a lot of knowledge of where the children go on to from reception. I've got two children of my own, two young children, so they keep me on my toes. So yeah, I'm really excited about meeting everybody.
It's great. We've got a fantastic team, and it's lovely that Miss Brumwell's with us. We've got Miss Bradley is with us now. This is going to be their second year with us, so we haven't scared them off. Yeah, we've had lots of experience. Really experienced practitioner this lady is, so you're in great safe hands. I've been at the school, will be my 6th year. I've always taught foundation. I've always taught all my teaching career, either nursery reception or a little bit of year 1. I absolutely adore it. I love it. It's tiring, it's hard work, but they give you so much fun and joy. I'm a mum, but my son is older. I'm now a grandma, so I've got a little boy called Harry, and he's 1, so which is exciting. And yeah, just looking forward to having your children too. So here goes. So what will happen is we will send out some letters about how your children are going to start into reception. We keep waiting for Boris's next information he's sending out, what's going to happen. But we do have a plan, and we are ready to change that plan if happens. So a letter or an email or a text will come through to you. Please keep an eye out for these. What we have got though is our usual booklet. This has got all the up-to-date information for next year. You can collect the booklet from the main office at the entrance for your children. Please keep it. It's got everything you really need to know about foundation stage. In the foundation booklet itself, the first page here just is all the contact details. So if you are new to the school, which we've got I think at the moment about eight new children to reception, this tells you the address, and it's got the most important, the website. We've got quite a lot happening on the website. We seem to go on a bit fits and starts adding stuff, but it is actually quite a comprehensive website. Keep a look out in the early years. Keep a look out the class. There will be more information to come. The next one will also give you the dates. So this is important for the dates of the starts of the term and the end of the term. Okay, the children will start the school on Wednesday the 2nd of September. Okay, some of you will be starting then. We are going to have a staggered start for the first week and a half or so. Please read the letters that are going to come to you and the information. Okay, but it gives you roughly when you finish for Christmas and when we reopen up. Okay, but again, transition is what we want to happen for your children, because usually at this time of year in June, July, we would be starting transition arrangements in school. We will be having them for little activities in our classrooms, reading them stories, getting them to know each other a lot more, but obviously that is not going to happen at the moment. By saying that, majority of the children who are coming have already been in our nursery. We've already met them anyway. They've already met us. Most of them have been in and out of our classrooms because we work as a unit, so we shouldn't be so strange and so unfamiliar to them. So that is a big bonus that we have for our school. All the information that we have from nursery comes to us as well, so we learn a lot about that. There's also, we've put in the booklet, there is a sheet about, these are the actual main teaching staff and support staff in the reception year. None of it has changed. We're all the same, which is brilliant for consistency. Okay. Next we've got is a little bit information. That's our names, full names throughout the unit. So if you need to spell us properly, that's who we are. We've also got a little bit about the unit itself. As it stands, we could give you lots of pictures, but it doesn't look the same. We've got very little out at the moment. We're just using the amount of resources we want for the children in our bubbles to keep the social distancing philosophy in the early years. So, but when you come back, hopefully, and it's fine, we have lots of learning opportunities. The foundation unit itself works as a unit. We plan and we support nursery, they support reception, and vice versa. We work as a very strong team. Assessments, profiles are shared, experiences are shared, and we are in the process of developing our unit even further. Nursery classes you might hear are referred to F1, and reception classes are referred to F2. Okay. Just a little bit about how reception learn. In fact, it's no different to how nursery learn. There'll be a little bit more structured activities, particularly the literacy, the maths, where we expect the reading and writing and the numbers to increase. But a lot of their learning is through play. They are first-hand learners. They learn through touch, through play, using their first-hand experiences. Every child will come back to reception. They all have different learning experiences in life, and that will portray how they're going to learn and be a learner as they move on. But we work together. We want to make sure that the children have every possible optimum opportunity to play and develop and extend their learning themselves. So their environment is key, and what we provide them is key. Now the curriculum, our early years foundation stage curriculum, is undergoing change by the government and the Department for Education. At the moment everything stays the same, but by the end of the year things will slightly start to change, but we will give you information on that. It will not affect you and the children won't even know. It's more for work for ourselves. So the early years foundation stage sets the standards for learning and care for children from birth to 5. In reception, it starts when the children are in the year that they actually turn 5, and it's compulsory within that year. The early learning goals, some of you might have heard about that is the final judgment that we work to for the children by the time they get towards the end of the reception year. So we want them to get to where they are expected to be, and that is the early learning goals. We will report on these goals, and we will report whether your child has reached expected, or they're still emerging, or they're exceeding that level. This attainment will be given to reception, and you'll get it as a report to you as parents at the end of the year. Okay. The early years foundation stage covers 7 areas. There's 3 prime areas and there's 4 specific areas of learning. So we're just going to really quickly go through what those 7 areas are. So the first one of the prime ones, which is crucial, is their personal and social and emotional development. This is all about them. This is all about them feeling that confidence, to positive, to form relationships with other children, to share, to take turns, to show respect, to manage their own feelings, to manage their own, have their own confidence, have their own ability to manage their own behaviour, make those right choices. They are young children and they are learning to make the right choices. We don't always make the right choices as adults, and surely children don't, and we're there to guide them on that process. We also want them to know how they feel and how they react with other children and other adults in the unit. So that's number 1, personal social development. That's crucial. The second one is communication and language. I think out of a lot of them, this is absolutely the prime one. This, having good language skills, good vocabulary, good listening skills, good attention, good concentration, helps them access all the other learning, whether it's in their play or a structured activity. We want them to be able to listen in a range of situations, respond effectively, respond appropriately? Have they listened to the question you've asked? Have they responded to the question that you've asked? Answer those questions like, who is it? Why is it happening? What? Where? When? Can they answer those questions? Are they asking those questions? Talk about things in their life that is happening now or maybe has happened. And then make those connections between what they do at home and they've learnt to new things that they're learning. So that communication is absolutely paramount. But we need the children to listen. And listening means understanding. Have they understood what you've actually asked them? Can they follow those simple instructions? Have they got the concentration and the confidence to do something and sit for a period of time? Or are they always wanting to be up? Because if they're always wanting to dash around, they're going to find it hard when they do the more structured activities in reception. So we need their concentration skills developing. And the last prime area is the physical development. The physical development involves opportunities for children to be active, whether it's using their whole body movements, going out to play, running, jumping, climbing, riding a bike. Then it's also the fine skills which is using the hands, holding a pencil, holding crayons, paintbrushes, using chalks, cutting out, folding things. Can they eat healthily? Do they understand what's good about eating? What are good things to eat? What does it mean to be healthy? What should they drink? Drinking water is a good thing to be healthy. Do they know about keeping themselves clean? Can they do it themselves? Are children able to take care of their own needs? You know, go to toilet, wipe the bottom. It sounds daft, but some do, some don't. But they're now reception. It's like that's an expected level. They can do those things. They can wash their own hands. They can tell you if they're hungry or they need a toilet or they need something. So it's like that being personal responsibility for their own health as too. We start that process straight away. So they're the three prime. They're really important in nursery. Physical, personal, social and emotional, communication, language development and physical development. The next four areas Miss Brumwell's going to talk about, these are specific, all right? These are the specific ones.
Okay, so the specific area, the first specific area is literacy. Literacy is massive. It involves starting really early on with phonics, with reading and with writing and handwriting. So straight away in reception we start on the phonics and we do a lot of oral blending. Can they hear sounds and blend them together to say the word. We start on phase 2 phonics, which is learning those single phonemes. You know, can they identify what a word begins with? So like k for cat. And it's lots and lots of oral practice of that. We then do the phase 2 tricky words. So tricky words are words that they just have to know by sight. So we do loads of games and structured phonics lessons. We do it in a really systematic way. So it's each phonics session each day is very similar. So we're building up skills all the time. The children are used to the layout of the phonics and they do make really good progress. And we do that right from the beginning. We move through to phase 3 with their phonics, which is more learning about digraphs. And digraphs are 2 letters that make one sound. So like oo and e, and there's lots of others. And again, we learn the tricky words, again by sight, and we learn to spell them as well. As well as phonics, we do daily handwriting. At West Road, we all throughout school, right from reception, we teach the cursive way of handwriting. So in September, we start on whiteboards and the children start to try and use their whiteboard pen to try and use their pen to find the line. So it sounds really easy, but the children, to get their fine motor skills to actually get them to touch the line, it can be quite tricky. So we do lots and lots of early practice of that, and then we practice going up and start making the curved shapes with their pen, and then we start to form single letter shapes using the cursive script. I wasn't a great believer of this in reception, but having done it for a year, I really do think that, you know, it really moves the children's writing on and it helps them further up school as well. So I'm really impressed with how well the children do in reception using that cursive script. The way we teach literacy, we do literacy every week, and we have structured lessons where the children might do a guided activity with an adult. We start off writing lists and CVC words like cat and dog and mat and pin, and we move on to children starting to write lists. So it could be lists of things they want to take up into space or things they want to put in their packed lunch. And then we move on towards after Christmas and towards the end of the year, expecting children to start writing simple sentences. And there's loads to remember when writing a simple sentence. So children have to learn their capital letters, they have to learn to use finger spacers, getting the correct letter formation, using their robot arms to help them spell if they were spelling the word mat, at. So there's loads and loads of things to remember, but we gradually build it up and the children do really, really well. Reading, again, is another massive area. That's through our phonics. We've developed a really, really extensive new reading scheme. Mrs. Heneghan's worked really, really hard on. It's fantastic. It starts at the children's phonic level and it builds up. We've got loads and loads of new reading books that the children will bring home, and we'll listen to the children read every week. The second specific area is mathematical development. So we start off with lots and lots of counting, number rhymes, things like 10 green bottles, lots and lots of songs. We practice counting up to 20. We practice ordering numbers. Can they identify the number? We practice lots of number formation. The children have a math lesson every week. Again, it's quite structured. The children will either work on an independent task or work alongside an adult. But as well as that, if there's a spare 5 minutes, we might play a counting game, we might do a number hunt. Like Mrs. Heneghan says, we try and take their learning outside as well. It's not just all in the classroom, it's through games and it's through play as well. The children learn to add and take away numbers as well, using lots of counting equipment, number lines, counters, unifix, things like that. But we also think about shape, space and measures as well. Can they name their 2D shapes? Can they recognise them in the environment? Can they name 3D shapes? Again, can they recognise those? Do they know about capacity, when something's full or empty or half full? Weighing, can they identify when something's heavier or lighter? What else? Measurement as well. Can they order things in size? Can they begin to use units like maybe how many paper clips something is? Lots of...
And it's rich-based language.
Absolutely.
Maths is, particularly on shape, space and measure, it's all about the language and the vocabulary that they are developing. So we want them to respond to it. So we said, can you put that on top of something? Mm-hmm. They can respond, but we also want them to use that vocabulary too. So where is it? And they would say, it is on top. So there's two parts of that.
Yeah, absolutely. And vocabulary for everything, like you said.
Yeah.
We try and enrich children's vocabulary in topic, in everything that we do. Mm-hmm. The third specific area is understanding of the world. So this is when children are talking about things like their family and who's in their family, about how somebody's family might be different to somebody else's. It's learning about different traditions and cultures. We have some themed weeks in early years. We had a Diwali week last year, which the children experienced some Indian dancing, they taste some food. We had the Chinese New Year week as well. So they're experiencing different cultures and identifying how are their lives the same and how are they different as well. The children will learn about plants and what plants need to grow and how they can look after plants and animals as well, and how does our world change when it's different seasons. So what's different when it becomes summer, trees have leaves on, and now it's compared to winter when there's no leaves on trees. The fourth specific area is expressive arts and design. So these are all the creative aspects of learning. So it's lots of about music, about singing songs, responding to music and dance, experiment in different ways of experiment with instruments and things like that. It's also about their creative like drawing and painting and experiencing mixing colours and what will happen and using different textures with painting. Can they share their feelings through their painting and things like that, and how they use how they use technology as well. And it's things like, can they use their role play in their play as well, adding characters and things into their playing as well.
Some children have all different qualities. Some children are very creative, some children will experience many different things, and some are just actually really like just to paint, or they just like to go make and construct, and some are very good at role play. Some are really good at knowledge about their environment. Children have their own sort of skills, their own sorts of qualities, which is really wonderful to see. So we hope to bring that out with them as well. The learning environment itself, it's huge. We've got three main classroom areas, and a shared and an outside, but they all offer ranges where they can encourage and support children to learn through this curriculum. So it is purposeful. We don't just put Play-Doh out and think, there you go and play with it. There's actually purpose for it. We're looking at now what we're going to call a skills-based approach. So through skills-based approach, what we mean is, if they're playing and building something, there'll be different levels of skills that children, as they get older, can apply. Some children, when they're babies, like to stack blocks. When they get to more reception, they like to build and maybe make bridges and arches. They've got different skills within it. We can see their development within that. So the play and the things that we put out does have a purpose, does have a thought behind it in everything that we offer. And this is our new curriculum, a skills-based curriculum in their play. It is taking some resourcing, it is taking some planning, but we are on a really start of a very exciting journey, and you're going to be the first ones part of it. The more that you come in and see it, the more we can explain to you about that. Activities, children often don't distinguish between whether it's work or it's play. So they might just say, oh, I've just been playing all day, I've not done anything. I can show you they have. And even if they're playing, we are watching, we're observing, we're assessing. We might go in there, give them little ideas, writing it down, photographing them, everything. So every part and every time in reception or in our unit, what they're doing is learning. Every minute they learn. Everything they see, they learn something. Everything they hear, they learn something. Everything they do, they are learning. Our classrooms offer special areas for the children. We've had sand, we've had water, we've had Play-Doh, we've had mark making, we've had math corners, we've had construction, all sorts. Some of those will still be there next year, but some of them are changing. So watch this space, especially for the loose parts ones. Exciting times. We do expect the children to work very, what shall I say, with some sort of respect with the things that we provide. There is an expectation for them to play and not to break. You imagine when we've got over 100 children in our unit, that can be quite hard work and challenging, but we do have high expectations. Resources aren't infinite, we can't keep buying them, so there is a respect, but I think that's a good learning skill for them to have as they grow older anyway. Assessments, there's a part in here a little bit about assessments. So as soon as children start nursery or reception, they are being assessed. So when they come into our reception classes, I should say nearly 90% of our children generally come from our nursery. We have a transition meeting with the teachers. We find out what they can do and what they're learning on next, what their strengths are, what they like, what their needs are, and anything specific that will help them transfer to reception easily. So we already have that information. We are privileged to have so many coming from our setting. Those who are coming from a new setting, it's a bit different this year, but we will link with the other settings. We will give them a phone call. Usually we go visit the children in that setting and find out about them. That is the start of their assessments. We watch them, we chat with them, and while we're doing that, we are gauging what they're like, what they do like to do, and what they can do, and what things they're going to need help on. We make those observations, we might write them down, we might photograph them, but they come part of their child's folder, which we call a profile. So your child will have a profile. You will get to see their profile 3 times or more a year. And And then again, by the end of reception, all that information, when we've been observing them, when we've worked with them on structured activities, all will come together to their end of year attainment. And this is where the early learning goals come in. Have they reached the early learning goals? Have they got to expected? Are they further, or are they still needing support and emerging? It's very difficult in reception because they are wanting that information at the end of reception, but some children might be a whole year older than other children in their class. So we do take age-related expectations and their age into consideration as we observe and we plan appropriate lessons. But at the end of the year, they've still got to get that expected. So we've got to make sure we do the best for them. So that's their assessment.
Okay.
Right.
So the next part is about the rules and the routines and boundaries that we have in our unit. So all the children are taught to play together, to work together. The boundaries are set out at the beginning of the year. We go through rules and routines with the children. We follow the school's behaviour policy. All the staff in the unit all have the same expectations and we're all consistent. We have a traffic light system, and it's a positive behaviour system that we use. The children all have a photograph on a white piece of paper, and if they do something good, or they're showing good listening, or they're working hard, or they're sharing, or they're helping, then we'll say, oh, well done, you can move your face to good, and then they can carry on to achieve, and they might even end up on wow. And if they end up on wow, they come home with a little note to say that they've been on wow and what it's been for. If they're doing something, if they're not listening, or they're doing something that you've asked them to stop them doing, and they'll get a verbal warning, and we might say, right, go move your face to wobbly, so that's the amber, and then if they continue, then they might move their face to red. Okay, and we'll let you know, we'll communicate with parents if your child has been on red. Again, it's consistent throughout the whole of the unit as well. The next part is about attendance. Okay, you might see our attendance characters. It's Sam and Sammy. Again, they're used throughout the whole of school. Our attendance as a school, our attendance target is 97%. And attendance is such an important thing. Children who do have low attendance, they are missing masses of learning, and it just builds up the more that they miss. It really, really does make a difference.
You don't need a lot to be off much to get below 97%. Our office are hot on ringing up, trying to find out, why they're not at school. Mm-hmm. So you might think, oh, it doesn't matter, they've only had a few days, but those days add up and you soon get below 97%. So be guarded with that. Yeah. But also, they miss learning, but they miss consistency in learning. Yeah. And it's also, they miss what their friends are doing. So it's vital they get to school. If you think that they're poorly, just get them in. Yeah. We'll look after them.
So school starts at 9:55. If you make sure your child is in the playground at 10 to 9, because when we say 9:55, that means that they should be in, we're in the classroom, we've started the register and we're starting with their learning. If you're 5 minutes late and it carries on being 5 minutes late, those minutes really do add up, and it does have an impact on your child's learning. So if you get to the playground for about 10 to, then you've got plenty of time. Again, if your child may be upset, it gives you time to calm them down, so that they're coming in a positive, happy way. Please ring up school if your child isn't attending school, and you're a parent, use your judgment to think, would they be okay at school? And quite often parents say, they might be a bit ill, and we will always give you a call if we really think that they shouldn't be at school. So please, if they don't attend school, ring up and let the office know why. Again, if you're going to be late, give the office a call that you're going to be late, but try and keep those to an absolute minimum. If your child is ill and you don't contact school, then that becomes an unauthorised absence as well, and these are recorded throughout school as well. So,
right, we've got helpful hints, just little ones. We're going to share a little bit with you. It's just they are at that next stage now. They're not nursery. They're moving on from nursery. They've had a whole year or so in nursery helping. So there are some expectations, some little cartoons here. Things like, can they dress themselves? Getting undressed and and dressed is an independent activity. If they're independent in looking after themselves, they'll be independent in being little learners. So can your child actually put on their own with no adults, put their arms in the coat? Can they actually fasten it up? Okay, how much are you helping them? Because we do it, we all do it.
I was going to say, as a mum, you want to zip it up and you want to get your arms in because you want to get out the door, but actually, when there's 25 of them, then we've got to do that.
Yeah, and it's so difficult. So just sometimes take a step back and think, I've actually just done all that, and we would like you to sort of support them and say, right, can we get them in a positive way and say, well done, you put your coat on. Can they shoelaces? No. They can't do it. They're too young for shoelaces. We end up doing that and it stops their play. So Velcro, best ever. Using the toilet properly. Can they go to toilet on their own? Can they use it properly? Can they wipe themselves? And can they flush the toilet? Okay, that's important. We're always there. We support them for the majority of time going to toilet when we go to class, but there are times when they have to go on their own. And when you've only got 8 members of staff and 100 children, now you're going to know how difficult it is for us to just help them with the toilet one-to-one. Another one, can they use a knife and fork? Simple as a lot of food we do eat are burgers and chips. You can eat with your fingers. We're quite high on saying, right, come on, let's teach them how to hold a knife and fork and eat properly, because some of the food, when they do get it, you can't eat baked beans with your fingers. So there's things that they're going to need to use a knife and fork. So we'll support them, but it would be helpful for you. Another one is tidy up. You know, I bet that's just one of your bugbears at home. If you've had little kids, we've all had little kiddies, and actually it's murder sometimes to get them to tidy up. But if there's little incentives, they are expected to tidy up after themselves and look after the things. Blowing the nose, can they blow the nose? Winter's coming, colds are coming, and they need to be able to not just put a tissue to the nose, but blow it and clear it. How are they at sharing? How are they sharing, taking turns? And can they actually act and be confident to say, could I have a drink? Can I do something? I would like this. I feel this. Okay, so it starts from that. Okay. There's just a little bit. These are for the parents mainly who haven't been to school. Just get to know the school. It's hard. You can't come in at the summer, which we miss you all very much because we prefer this face to face. But just at least walk past. Go visit the website, go see our photographs on it, get the children. I mean, oh look, that's going to be my teacher, that's going to be the school I go to. It makes a big difference. And be positive, because if you have anxious and you're anxious about them coming, sure will, they'll be anxious. If you're happy, they'll be happy. Okay. We've mentioned a bit about arrival times, just collecting them promptly on time. We do close the doors. We all have meetings to go to after school. Our day doesn't finish at 3. Our day carries on. So yeah, just to make sure that you're prompt and pick them up. And again, if another adult picks them up, we need to know. On your admittance form, you will have written who can pick them up. If we don't know an adult, we will not let them go with them. Even if the child recognises them, they're not on it, we will either ring you or somebody on that list to say, are they able to pick them up? Okay. Clothing. So there's lots about clothing here. School uniform. Yes, you want school uniform. Yes, we have a school uniform. Some of you have already got siblings in the school, so you might be able to use some of that. Boys, it's grey trousers or black trousers, polo t-shirt or shirt, a school sweatshirt. It can have the logo, it can just be navy blue, it doesn't matter. Girls, again, they can have trousers, grey skirt, pinafore, little shirt, and again the blue jumper or cardigan. I think it's Little People in Goole used to do ours. So there is a link on our website that you can go straight to them. So I'm not sure, and I can't say for certain, but I bet they'll take online orders. Okay, so if you want to get ready for September, do that. But please, please, please name the clothing. I say every year and they don't do it. And then we end up with literally, virtually, by the end of the winter, nearly a dustbin full of clothes with no names. And I'm afraid we're so busy, we cannot look for children's clothes that don't have names on. We put them in the lost property, and it's up for you. It's amazing how many don't. Just get a permanent pen and write it on it. It is easy. When you think there could be over 100 children in the unit, there's no way we're going to find it. All right, so we don't even try. Footwear and jewellery. Children do not need to have any jewellery at all. They don't need it. No earrings, don't need earrings, not allowed earrings, not need watches, no jewellery. We've also said no toys. Some children like to bring a toy, they don't need it. They're not going to play with it. They only get upset if they can't have it. And then if it got broken, then they'd be really upset. So it doesn't even need to come in the playground. Okay, keep it at home. Shoes, we've said, no laces, please. Children can't do it. They get knotted, they can't do it. And it stops them, because some things they want to do, they want to take the shoes off. It means they've got to go to an adult every time to take the shoes off. And it needs an adult to put them back on. And that means they're not independent and they're relying on someone. So this is a great time. You're going to think about shoes for winter. Do not buy laces, buy Velcro. They're easy for the children. PE kits. We've got some great little bags in the office. You can buy them. I think they're about £3 something. Ring up the office, but the little name bag just to put PE kits, they don't need a big rucksack. We don't have room. So just a drawstring bag. It could be a school one, it could be anything, but again, have the name on. All they need is t-shirt and shorts. It can be any that they've had in the summer. It doesn't necessarily have to be school ones. And again,
we try and keep the PE kits in school for at least half the term, don't we?
Yeah.
Not send them home.
Yeah, they don't really get that much PE. They don't get, dirty. So probably by Christmas we'll send them back. So we keep them. It stops them you coming back and not coming back, and then we haven't got enough PE kits. Okay. Dinners. Hopefully that you've all on your packs registered if you're entitled to free school meals. The school benefits massively by just you writing and filling in the form. We can get about say over £1,000 a child. That's a lot for the school to help them during their time in school. So we need your help. It's for your children. We want to buy as much as we can and give them the best experiences. Again, the dinners, if you're choosing to do a packed lunch, you need to keep them on it for a week, and then you let the office know that the following week you might go into school dinners. We don't chop and change every day. Okay, the dinner ladies would not be able to cope with that. Okay, so that's important. And again, knives and forks. I do the fruit mortar.
So the children have a piece of fruit every day. It's delivered to school. We sometimes have a snack table, or we might have. We've changed it sometimes, haven't we? Or sometimes we have a snack time where we all sit down and have a piece of fruit and a drink at the same time. If you bring a water bottle with your child, again, make sure it's got their name on it, and they can fill that water bottle up as much as they like in a day. We do say no dilute, no juice at all. So
no flavoured water.
No, just water, please.
It's part of our health eating policy adopted by the governors. We've had it all the time since I've been here. I know children sometimes love water and some don't, but we're there to promote healthy lifestyles. So no. Sometimes people want to drink the flavoured drinks. We do check it. We do check it. So water only and in a named bottle all the time.
And they do all get free milk as well, don't they, until they're 5.
Yeah.
And then if you want to pay for milk, it's the website, isn't it?
Yeah.
Cool Milk.
You do have to register on the coolmilk.com to get your milk anyway. So you will get it free up to the 5, and then afterwards you will have to pay.
Yeah.
But you do need to register. They won't get it without it. No. So all the information is in your booklet there. Okay. Last thing, all about being about healthy. These are just little things. They're going to be tired from having half a day in nursery. They're going to be full time, new experiences, new demands, new expectations, new staff. They've had some children have had a lot of time off with the lockdown. Some have been here quite a while, but even still, they do need their good sleep. Okay, there's so much going on for them. So encourage that quiet time, going to bed. They will benefit, and you will benefit in the morning. There's going to be lots of things coming out about helping your child to read and write, and with homework really. Children will get a challenge each week. They're usually quite practical, and they build on something that we've already done in the class for that week. So the children will already have some experience. You also will get a book to take home, a reader leader book, which is a fun picture book with stories to take home. There will be more information about that at our reading meeting, which will be probably 2 or 3 weeks into the September month. Also, look out for the phonic sounds. So the phonemes that they're going to take home, they need to learn those sounds. So the first ones are going to have 6 sounds to learn, and they need to learn those, need to know what the sounds are. This will all be explained, so don't worry about that too much at the moment. But the homework's imperative, the homework bridges. The children who do really well are where homework is supported at home.
And it carries on throughout school.
Absolutely.
No matter what year group, they have homework, so it's good to start them young, and it just becomes a habit that they do every year.
Yeah.
So,
If you've got any problems or anything and you want to, just contact the school. The office are fantastic. If you turn up at school and your teacher's not there, but all our support staff are there, anyone could probably answer you the questions. We work as a great team and we know most of the answers. So I've got Miss Evans in my class, you've got Mrs Goldsworthy. They know everything. They're our right-hand ladies, aren't they? So when we're not there, they are the other teachers. They're brilliant. You've got 2 parents' meetings in the year. You've got one in about October time, which we will discuss the progress that your child's making, the targets we would like your help with, things that you can do at home, how well they're doing on attendance. And that will be one in October, one in March, and then in the summer you get a written report. Okay, and that's how we'll be informed. You can help as well. We love it if parents, nanas, grannies, aunties, uncles, come and help. We have sometimes family workshops. We have open weeks every half term. It's brilliant. So we do lots and lots where we help you understand about how they're learning. You come and stay and play. You learn a bit about where they should be aiming at and targets they can do. And just come and see what it's like. Talk to the teachers, talk to the other staff, and get a feel about what it's like for your child. We often have, now we've got a new reading scheme and it's really structured, we will be looking for helpers with readers, because I think that will really help us. We want to hear them more often and more regular, and the new structured reading scheme can definitely support this. We always need help for trips, the end of year reception trip, we need adult helps, helping on outings, sporting events, fundraising things we do. We'd love your help. We are early years, we fight our battle in the school, we fight for budget, we fight to get the best resources we can for your school and for your children, but sometimes we need your help. So that would be brilliant. And we do have a parents association where you can come and help raise money. So that's really taking off. So I think the key thing, this is your booklet to have a little look at. There's absolutely masses in there. You can ring up any time, we will answer up to now in summer. We finish on the 17th of July, we won't be in. But we will have contacted you prior to that. If you are new to the school, we will make contact. Feel like an alien, we will make contact to you. So we will come and see, even if it's at the garden gate, we will make sure that we see you. Some of you already know. I know there's a couple who already come to school. Watch out for the letter for your staggered intake. So you will not all be starting full time on the 2nd, Wednesday the 2nd, okay? It's staggered. We're hoping to invite you for lunch, but we're not sure if parents can come in at the moment. That's our intention. Come and stay and play, stay and have a lunch. That's your first transition, and then we'll stagger you in. Okay. I hope this has been all right. We've not seen you.
It's very weird doing it like this.
Very weird, very weird. We said we want a makeover. Anyway, we love you all and look forward to seeing you September. Okay. Thank you for listening.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you.